watched a guy today who was speaking at CPAC, a clip today, that said the next 10 months are going to be the wildest 10 months you're going to see, okay? With games, manipulation, stuff that they haven't even launched yet. Shit. That's going to be happening, right. Will happen, but, it's I think to them, you know what this is? If the left's motives, Chuck Schumer, what he said, if all of this stuff is true, guess what they can't do? Let me tell you what they cannot do. You can't lose this game. So think elections as, let's just say, Game 7, right? You got the first to 4 wins, Yeah. So they've been, since Obama got in after Bush, they won 1 game, 1 term. They won 2 games, 2 terms. They lost 1, so it's 2-1, okay? Because Trump won. They won 1, which is Biden. They're now 3-1 playoffs. They win this, it's over.
Oh, fuck.
They win it.
Right.
This is so important. If they lose this, guess what it is? 3-2.
Well, thank God they have a great candidate.
That's right.
Joe Biden.
He's the GOAT.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever gotten 81 million votes. So
I don't know how they're going to run this guy. I'm hoping they I want a little May surprise. They pull him and throw somebody else in. But Newsom would tank. Michelle Obama won't do it. And there's in theory, she would be good, maybe, but I don't know if in practicality, I don't know who they got.
Tim, we got a little bet going on around here.
I don't know who they got. If they pull Biden,
they think they're going to pull Biden. I think they're going with the corpse.
I talked to people in Palm Beach, in Mar-a-Lago, people who believe they're going to pull him in May. This is not a conspiracy theory. Well, it's something that's...
Well,
if it's around Mar-a-Lago, I'm
but
sure.
there are people that genuinely believe Trump is not running against Biden. They're in his campaign. They believe that he's running against someone else. It might be Gavin Newsom. They don't know. They believe Biden gets pulled in May.
But why May? Because our friend Tom was usually here. He thinks it's going to be in August,
13th.
which I think is...
Well, when is their convention?
13th.
It's the August 13th.
No, so I think...
Which I feel is incredibly late in the game.
The reason they would pull him in May is because then you head right into the summer. No one cares. People are not paying as much attention. So
I'll be in Mykonos. That's fine.
The person wouldn't get a ton of scrutiny over the summer. They would be kind of crowned at the convention. Then they got a few months, and then boom, there you go.
By the way, did you see Spider-Man?
Yeah.
They are trying to get in one of the movies in Spider-Man. They showed Michelle Obama 20. But it didn't say the number.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they had Michelle Obama in the movie Spider-Man in the back. Like, you can miss this.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's
I
one
don't
of
think
these
she
here.
wants to do it.
Spider-Man movie Easter egg.
Don't you think she
How
has
was
to?
Spider-Man's movie Easter egg teased Michelle Obama candidacy?
Oh, weird.
But it only shows 20. It doesn't show the other numbers. So if you go a little lower, maybe Control F20. If you Control F20, it'll come up, Rob. Can you Control F20? There you go. Boom. Hit it again. Papa, go one more time. Right there. So in a blink, you'll miss it in a moment. Across the Spider-Verse, we see a sticker on the wall of Miles' room that reads Michelle Obama 20, but you don't see the other numbers.
But what they're basically saying is leave it to your imagination. We've got 76 more years to run Michelle Obama. Until 2100 when the numbers change.
But going off of what Tim said, let's be honest. Unless he has a body double or they drug him up, there's absolutely no way he can go up against Trump.
They can't run him.
They cannot do it.
I fully agree with all you guys.
Well, no, I know, but
they're going to run this corpse.
No.
And they're going to drug him up, and he's running.
Tim,
he's still their guy.
But hold on, and I get it because numbers don't lie.
I'm looking at what's in front of me.
My thing is
he's eating ice cream and campaigning,
and sanity, dementia, Alzheimer's, whatever the hell is going on. The odds are, that's the Vegas odds. We don't think we're awake, but who besides Gavin, because that's the only one that's out going to all these debates, Republican National. He's everywhere. That little snake doing his he's revering Biden. Michelle, I don't think she wants to. I think it's especially because Obama and them are running the show. Hey, you have to, for the sake of the party. So I know you're selling out arenas, talking about God knows what. We need you. Get your ass in there. Give us this 4 years.
He doesn't believe that.
It's not like I'm
By the way,
super excited about campaigning for Biden. I just think that they're going to run this guy.
Would you vote for Michelle Obama instead of Trump?
I'm not voting for anyone on the left these days. I think it's all a joke.
I love that attitude.
But I will tell you who's making some waves, and his numbers are going up and up and up and up and up. And his name is Bobby Kennedy, and he's 20-1 now.
No, they'll never run him. They'll never run him.
Who do you mean they're never going to run him?
The Democratic.
Well, no, he's going to run as an independent.
He'll never win.
He'll never win.
He'll never win.
Well, his odds.
Got no shot.
According to the odds, he's got a 20-1 shot.
Michelle, look where Michelle is.
I'm following the money here, guys.
It's going to be Trump unless they throw there's some type of, I don't know, there's got to be like an October surprise that's really, like you said, very exciting. But I think if they run Biden, they lose. I don't know who they could run where on paper, Michelle's a good candidate. We don't know how she would do. You just don't know. You don't know. On paper, she's a good candidate. We don't know. The other people, there's no name recognition with like a Gretchen Whitmer or
no. These are VP candidates that are surfacing.
Okay.
But I got to ask you this.
Yeah.
Look. The Ross Perot, 1992, made some waves as a third-party candidate.
Yeah.
This guy was 5'4", and he talked like this, and he was kind of like a John F. Kennedy. Bobby Kennedy's a legit dude. Well, other than his raspy voice, you've had him on the podcast. Great podcast with him
like
and
him a lot.
Cheryl. Theo Vaughn said that he would vote for him in an instant.
We all like him.
Why don't you think he's got a chance?
Because the numbers are not at all trending in the direction where you would put him in the running. He's not, if you look at the polls, this is not, just as an analyst, again, I like him and I think he would probably be a really good president, as much as you can judge anyone for a job, right? You hiring is, Gary Vee said once, hiring is guessing. He said that to me and that kind of made sense, I guess. But I don't think that you could like predict how he against Trump, and whoever else in the Democrat. Do you see RFK winning against Trump?
No.
I think if you get those three guys, the old and senile versus the old and angry, and versus the fit and vocally challenged RFK. If you get them on a debate stage, I truly think that RFK is going to make noise and waves and call out both sides. I feel like there's such a yearning in this country for a third-party candidate.
I think
to step in.
will agree with me here. Do you see any way you're putting your money on RFK beating Trump? There is not a possibility. Patrick would not put $1 on that.
He's the only candidate that actually has a favorable approval rating.
By the way, and it's great. You ought to go bet on this. If you're 20-1, put $1,000. You win 20 grand.
You guys, you know what? Maybe I will.
I like him. I like him a lot.
Yeah, there's nobody here. I like the guy. I don't think anybody here doesn't like him. I think the part that you have to be thinking about is the following. So remember how Vivek, everybody would ask and say, how the hell is Vivek only at 7%? Or 8%. This is so weird. Right. Why is he at 7 or 8%? Because his message was 100% the same message as Trump's message, which means what? If there was no Trump, Vivek would be at 52%, right?
Yep.
So you have no idea how curious I am where Vivek would be in 2028.
Wow.
I am so curious to see where he would be in 2028 because maybe it's because of the mathematical side of me where I just kind of want to see, is that really the reasoning? Because establishment, he's not an establishment.
I don't think that's the only reasoning, right? You got to look at across the board, right? It's
maybe not religion, maybe background, maybe skin color.
There's all of that. There's
name recognition.
How long do we know this person?
Right.
How long have we seen them? Do we have any level of trust? Do we, I think it's hard to,
Well, look, I fully agree with you. We've known Vivek's name for maybe 24 months, and that's generous. The Kennedy name is as everlasting and as great of an American name.
Go back to it. I'm going to go to the next
what I'm
story.
saying is we've known Trump for 50 years.
Right.
Biden's been a politician 50 years. It's name recognition.
Yeah, then guess what? Then
Vivek doesn't have it yet.
But you ready for this?
That's all I'm saying.
The Obama name, you know those 81 million votes that Biden got? They're going to go for her 1,000%. She will not have a problem.
You could be right.
She won't do it.
I'm not a believer in Michelle.
I don't think she has an interest.
I think she has to. I think she has to for the party.
I don't think she has an interest in it.
Do you want to bet?
I wonder if you believe this is a dark business.
Yeah.
Here's what you have to believe. How much you think Michelle cares about her and her husband's legacy?
A good amount.
What's a good amount? Is that a number one? Is that a top three? Do they value their legacy more than their freedom?
Yes,
and their
they might feel that this tarnishes their legacy. Because, by the way, here's the other thing. She doesn't beat Trump. Sorry, she doesn't. Michelle Obama doesn't beat Trump in the general. This is such a cooked up idea. I even have fallen prey to it myself, but I don't know if she wins. I think it might be the best chance, but still, do you see Michelle? And I mean, I ask you again, you're a business guy.
Yeah.
Are you putting money on Michelle beating Trump?
No, that's not the question, though.
Okay.
It's not the question. The question is the following. Do you believe legacy is the most important thing to them, or the life they live, the lifestyle of the rich and famous celebrity Hollywood, George Clooney? What do you think they value the most?
Combination, but I do think legacy is a big consideration.
Okay, do you think they became presidents by themselves, or a lot of people?
A lot of people.
Okay. So do you think a certain set of puppet masters helped them become presidents?
1,000%.
Great. Then guess what? They're owned. Then if you're owned, then the people who own are going to come knocking on the door. And do you think in the political space, the people...
not everything you own behaves the way you want.
But watch this, though. But let's stay on this topic here. Let's remember how this whole thing you were saying, conversation starts with this and it leads somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yes,
the whole thing with comedy curiosity.
Yeah.
Okay, fair. But do you think the people who owned and pushed have intel on them that nobody else has access to, including the world, you
Absolutely.
and I? Fair enough. So what if that meeting, do you think a meeting would take place where the meeting goes like this? Michelle, we're going to need you to run. And she's going to fight it. And he's going to fight it. And then it's going to say, we don't want to make this bad and ugly. We want this thing to be civil. We don't want all the information to come out. We've worked very hard to protect your legacy.
Yeah.
I think, the other people will not be happy, because it's always going to be the other people are not going to be happy because they helped you get there. They want you to run, and they're willing to back you up, and they're going to put $2 billion up, and you're going to be running for 4 years. We can put somebody else after that, but for now, we're going to need you to run. Yeah. Do you think that kind of a meeting has taken place?
I think that the problem I have with that kind of meeting, number one, is I think that whatever they have on the Obamas would severely damage the Democratic Party. I don't think they would leak stuff that would damage the Democratic Party if these are Democratic power brokers. I also don't know how convinced they are that Michelle Obama would beat Trump. I'm not convinced. I just am not convinced. I think it might, on paper it looks good, but think about it. Have we ever seen Michelle Obama in any type of political debate? Nope. Have we ever? We've never seen her as a politician.
No.
The reason she's so popular is because she's never gotten into the muck. When they go low, we go high, all that stuff. She's been able to have the luxury of doing that because she's been a political spouse. If she becomes Hillary Clinton lost twice to a first-term senator.
Michelle's more likable than Hillary. Hillary's the least liked person in America
for
in politics.
Sure, but Michelle has the advantage of never having been a politician. She's a politician.
She hasn't had to get down and dirty.
She hasn't had to ever really, she's never been, back against the wall fighting.
Trump won, and he had never been a politician. He had never done debate.
Trump is a much different character than Michelle.
Trump is a monster in a good way.
Trump's also funny.
He's been in every rap song ever. He had The Apprentice.
But guys, let me tell you. So listen. Are you convinced the Dems are going to give up this one loss and go 3-2 and let Trump run?
No,
it
I fully do not think they want to see
They're going to
Trump.
put Newsom ahead of Michelle. And
I'm shocked that Gavin Newsom's odds aren't higher than Michelle's. I don't get it.
And if you think about it, and Tim, to go to your point, but to go a little bit backwards, she was recently on the On Purpose podcast where she said, I am terrified about what could possibly happen if Trump wins in 2024. It's basically saying...
Yeah, that's every Democrat, though.
No. But for her to be saying, hold on, I'm worried, she's terrified. That means she's basically saying she's losing sleep because of this threat. These are just little nuggets.
That doesn't mean she's going to run, though.
We'll see.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.